All right, here we are, you guys. Welcome to the workshop. If you have been in one of my workshops before, you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding. If you've been in one of my workshops before, I hopefully remember the first thing that I'm going to tell you guys, my friends, is that you can use this workshop a couple different ways. Okay, one, you can kind of have camera off, mute, and be multitasking, scrolling through Facebook, not, not really paying attention and kind of half in, half out. The other way is to really jump in, journal in hand, sticky notes in hand, pen in hand, whatever it is that you need to take notes. The download, if you got it, if you didn't get the download, you're going to get it in seconds. Hopefully, check your spam too, because every once in a while when it comes from Megan at northwestmyofunctionaltherapy.com, email doesn't always love it. So double check that, download it, because we left some journaling space at the bottom for you guys. And we just really want to be able to let you guys really, truly enjoy. Because really, here's the thing. You are likely on this call because you are tired of thinking that everybody else is making a lot of money in their business and knows this big secret that you don't know, right? You're tired of pounding the pavement and trying to drum up business over and over again, and you feel like you're just mentally constantly exhausted. Um, and oh, Kim, yeah, if you're here late and you didn't get the PDF download, if you didn't get the PDF that comes with this workshop tonight, throw your email in there so Sandy can send it. We sent it at like 4-ish p.m. PST. So if you ended up like registering after that, we might not have caught your email. So yeah. Oh, perfect. Kim, you got it. Great. Download it. Pull it up. All right. Beautiful. Excellent. I love it. Okay. So where was I? You guys are frustrated. You're frustrated humans. You don't always have to be frustrated, but okay, even throw it in here. What do you guys? I mean, I can tell you guys what I think you're frustrated about, but why don't you tell me? Throw a couple things in the chat here. Okay, Sandy sent the email, so if there's any stragglers who still need the PDF download, still throw your email in here, okay? But I'd love to hear from you guys. I know a lot of you tell me because I get to talk to a lot of you, but what else are you guys frustrated about? What are you frustrated about in your businesses? What do you feel like is holding you back? What do you feel is not connecting? One of the frustrations I heard earlier today is that you keep taking these really expensive courses and then you still don't know how to run a business. That's a frustration I hear a lot, and I see a lot of smiling faces. Been there, done that, wrote the check, sent the email, whatever it is, right? Let's see. Who just sent something? My chat was up and disappeared. Oh, Tiffany, sick of feeling fearful of moving forward with anxiety and debt because you keep pouring money into things and then you don't know, like, you're not getting the business out of it. Dana, the constant headache of having to seek out new patients constantly and people aren't just coming to you. Delana, the objection that I love good objections, you guys. Okay, we're gonna do a different workshop on handling objections, but objection that this is out of their budget, out of their price range, right? You're kind of like, well, how much were you budgeting to like fix this giant issue that you have? Because $5 isn't gonna cut it, right? Consistent referrals, lack of case acceptance after the evals. Yes, learning how to close those treatments. If you were on my last webinar, who was on my last webinar? Any hands in the crowd? I know some of you were. I won't call you out unless you really want me to. Stephanie, awesome. We did get to talk about that last webinar of really like that 4-step methods of closing cases. So if you didn't get that, if you were on that webinar, we're happy to give you the replay. Let's see, Sarah, feeling like you don't know enough. So you take more courses, then you feel worse off before with too much information. Yes, the education freeze. Sherry, can I pick on you for a second in the most loving way possible? Great, I love you, thank you. So Sherry definitely was stuck in that space of being overeducated and then you freeze because then you educate vomit on people, right? You educate vomit on people and they're like, I'm sorry, what did you just say to me? And you're like, I don't actually know what I just said to you either. I just like told you everything possibly in my head. I'm frustrated with insurance not covering anything. Yeah, that's definitely a frustration. Fear of actually being successful, Stephanie. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's huge, right? Like some sort of fear or guilt that like, I don't know if you guys watched my reel. Um, honestly, like I think it's my most popular, if not second most popular besides Isabel's Super Bowl dancing reel that I've um ever had. And I was kind of surprised that I got so much attention because the fear of being successful and the fear of putting yourself out there, the fear of making a lot of money and that it being a bad thing or like a greedy thing or like some weird vibes around that. 100%. Getting referrals from providers, but patients don't follow through with scheduling. Amen. Preach it. Actually, Rebecca and I talked about that like 2 hours ago. So in case anybody was feeling alone in your frustrations, raise your hand if you no longer feel alone in your frustrations because all of your 22 other friends here literally feel the same way. Okay. And I think that is huge for everybody to just see that right now because I hear this all the time and everybody else thinks, well, nobody else is struggling. And I'm like, but that's not true. And they're like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, because I host these workshops and everybody tells me, right? Like, but because I've been there, you know. So a little bit about me. If you guys don't already know me, my name's Megan Benoy. I'm the founder of Northwest Myofunctional Therapy. I'm the co-founder of the Munch Bunch podcast. If you don't listen to the Munch Bunch podcast, you should. We have a great time. It's a myofunctional therapy podcast that's kind of moved in more and more to holistic health and root cause, just kind of as who's been wanting to be guests on our show. So we even have an episode about shrooms, which is kind of fun. And if you're anti-shrooms, sorry, pretend like you didn't hear that. But right, so what else do I do? I'm a mom to Isabel. She's 2.5. She's a star. If you guys haven't seen her, you're about to, because like obviously, why wouldn't you? She was my little tongue-tied, cheek-tied, lip-tied baby. You name it, she had it. Because there she is. She's the star. We love her. Okay. This was her hiding from me having to go to daycare, and that's every morning for me. But yeah, so thank you, Sarah. I think she's very cute too. What else? I run myofunctional therapy. Oh, I help implement myofunctional therapy into dental practices. But most importantly, the newest hat I've been wearing, actually, it's a hat I've been wearing for a long time. I just put a name on it. I've been mentoring since 2017 or 2018. So I've been mentoring for a long time. Some of you may know me from that mentoring space. And I have started my own business coaching because to be honest with you, a lot of you guys like don't need more courses to teach you skills. You guys know what you're doing. You don't need more courses to teach you your skills. You need to know, how do I successfully run a business? How do I get the clients slash patients, whatever you want to call it? I honestly don't care if you call them clients, patients, or like homies. Like that doesn't matter to me at all. And like how to actually scale, grow, make money, and this just not be a hobby, right? And so I started Not Just a Mom earlier this year, and that is my business coaching, that is my business boot camps, that is my business mastermind, and that's how we are really helping you guys as business owners, as moms, especially in business, balance being badass business owners and being kick-ass moms. So what I wanted to do tonight is actually kind of show you guys step by step of how I have gone up income brackets, how I've made more money, and give you guys the steps to really get an idea of like what the heck this like super secret is. I didn't realize it was a super secret, but it's okay. Secrets unlocked tonight. So, right, because really, what are your guys' biggest fears? Right? I think you guys kind of like put this in here. Veronica, trying to feel tired of feeling that I have to prove myself, right? Like having to convince people to work with you, having to convince providers that you have something valuable to bring to the table, like fear of that. Oh, Rebecca put in fear of, making a mistake and perfectionism, right? Like I'm a big fan of like progress over perfection. Like if I let my perfectionism overtake me. Like I'd probably be still scaling somebody's teeth back in 2012, right? Feeling like you're not going to meet, right, expectations. All right, filling every role in your practice, right? Like how do you manage the administrative business side of things, but also the clinical provider side of things, right? So, you know, this is what I want to know. Okay. This is what I want you guys. We're going to sit here for like 3 to 5 minutes, maybe not 5 minutes, because I mean, I could probably talk nonstop 5 minutes, but I won't in this moment. What do you guys want? I want to know. I want you guys to sit back, dream for a second. If money didn't matter, you're already making the amount of money that you dream of making. Write that at the top of your PDF. Write that at the top of your journal. How much money do you want to make every single month? If you want to share it in the here, you totally can. But really, what is your dream? What like what is the dream? Right? What amount of money? How much? What does that look like? What if money didn't matter? Don't give me any reason why you can't make it because I'm gonna tell you it's a lie. Um, because I'm literally doing it. And I want you to really write down. Okay, so you have your money, right? You're making it. It's all cooking. It's happening. It's easy, right? We're letting it be easy. The money's flowing in. All the things, right? Now, what are some of the things that you want? What are some of the things you want 6 months from now? What does life look like for you? Ooh, Sherry, I love this. Thank you for sharing it. My dream is to make 30 to 35K a month, see patients from anywhere and travel with my daughter and enjoy life. That's what I'm already doing right now, Sherry. So if Sherry was to sit here, which Sherry would never, because Sherry works with me. She's amazing. Sherry's the best. If you don't know Sherry, she's amazing. You should know her. But that's why Sherry started working with me, right? Because Sherry's like, you're doing this, right? Like that's what I'm doing. And I see patients from anywhere, right? And I get to take my daughter all the places and just really like get to enjoy our lives, right? Like that's a huge reason why I want to do what I do, right? Jessica, less financial stress. Amen. Hallelujah. All right. Rochelle, homestead and live on a farm and have property with cabins, saunas, and place for people to come and retreat to. All right. Send me the address. We will be there. That sounds amazing. I'll let you guys know a little bit of my dream while you guys are throwing these in here because I want you guys to dream. My goal in the next year or two is to buy my parents' home for them so they have a home the rest of their lives to live in. And my mom doesn't have to worry about any financial stress at all. So that is my most immediate goal, would be to be able to buy my mom's house for her and just let her, and then I help her retire her. My dad's disabled from a traumatic brain injury that happened in 2017. And so he's unable to work. My mom watches Isabel and my other nieces and nephews on her days off. And I just want to make the rest of my mom's life easy. And so that's why I work as hard as I do and why I want to make large, copious amounts of money. So, and then I want to take Isabel anywhere where I stink and feel like it, right? I want to be the mom who is like, oh, like, I'm just going to surprise my daughter and take her to Disneyland next week. Let's go buy a ticket. Oh, we're going to fly first class. Great. I love that for us, right? I don't know if she's ready for Disneyland yet. She's only 2.5. That would probably be more of an issue than anything. So like, we'll wait till like next year, but like I just want to be able to make that decision and go and not have to be worried. Oh, well, I don't know if I can afford this. I don't know if I can do that. Right. I want to be able to be the spontaneous mom. I want to be able to put her in whatever sport, class, anything else that I can put her in. Right. Let's see. Sarah said freedom to support my family and be able to live a life comfortably afford life. Amen. Stephanie, immediate goal is solid 10K months to finally be able to pay off debt. Absolutely. We've got boot campers who are doing that right now. Barb wants to work remotely. I've always worked remotely and in person. I did that for like a year and a half. And get respect from all the hater providers out there. I mean, I just don't deal with haters. Bye. Jessica has horses and goats. Do you already have goats? I love that. Is that right, Jessica? You already have goats? Do you have horses? Because we're coming to your house too. We've got a lot of trips apparently already planned for us. Betsy wants to make 25K a month and dream to have time back to spend with my kids, travel with my husband, help my kids and sister with college. I love that, Betsy. You just gave me chills. We're all on the same page, right? What I did not read in here is that anybody wants to do any evil or bad things with their money. I didn't see any world domination. I didn't see like any like horrible things, right? So you see any rich, greedy, crazy things, right? You guys just all want beautiful lives where you can help support yourselves and your families. Let's say Veronica said, my goal is to make enough money for my husband to retire. I love it. He's always worked so much, so you know she could be home with the kids, and then they can travel and work from anywhere, right? Tiffany, debt paid off, travel to visit her daughter, stay longer than a Sunday because I have to hurry back for work, right? Remote work would be amazing. I love it. Okay. So I get to do these things, you guys. I get to do these things all the time. Like, do you know what I did yesterday? I worked out and I went to a sauna and then I cold plunged and then at some point I went to a coffee shop and then I also went to happy hour to finish up a business proposal and I still made like, 10 grand yesterday, right? These are things that you guys can do, right? Katrina, I love it. Immediate goal of 2,000 a month and grow continuously from there. At one point I did start at zero. Okay. Like when I was working in hygiene, right? My business made zero to start, right? So I did start at zero. And even just so you guys know, I relaunched my practice last year. I was partnered with another practice I left, and I relaunched from zero with no connections from my former life. And I rebuilt in the steps that I'm literally about to share my screen with you, right? So Rebecca Rose wants to bring in 15K immediately. I love it. I'm here for it. Okay. Have you guys been watching some of the like testimonials and stuff that I've been sharing on the interwebs? Have you guys been following my pages and stuff and watching people? Yes, they're great, Tiffany. I love that. They are great. They're amazing. And I haven't been doing the work for them. I've been showing them, but they do the work, right? Some of it is that you have to do the work. Okay, so if you guys haven't, let me just scroll through 85,000 pictures of Isabel. Because last time I tried to play this on my computer, it didn't work. And I'm actually going to show you somebody who I didn't show last time, just so you guys know that it's more than just like two people. Hold on, I'm like boomering my phone for a second.
Megan's boot camp and one-on-one coaching has been really a game changer for me and my business. I've been in practice for about 3 years, and as my business has grown, I just decided it's something I wanted to take to the next level. And I'd been looking for something like this and just hadn't found it until recently when I saw Megan's advertisement. So I have really enjoyed this process. It's been a lot of work in the midst of, seeing my patients, but I know the hard work that I'm putting in now is going to help to streamline all of my processes, make everything more efficient, so I can get to the point where I don't feel like I am working so hard. So within the first couple of weeks of the boot camp and one-on-one coaching, my business revenue doubled. And now into the next month, I am on track to meeting and surpassing that goal from the previous month. So everything is just becoming more streamlined, more efficient. And yeah, I'm really grateful. So thank you, Megan, and your team.
Love Lindsay. So that was like the middle of August that she had already reached what she made in July. And in July she was what was she, about 12-ish, I think it was. And then so she had already surpassed that by mid-August and crushed that by the end of August. So so it's possible. Okay, so it's not just me doing it. You guys just saw Lindsay, and if you guys are either in our Facebook page or if you're on my Facebook page or I don't know, the million places I'm always constantly like being like a proud stage mom, coaching, like showing these girls like crushing it. Um, Lindsay's not the only one, right? Who's just been really doing amazing. So all of that to be said, my friends, let's talk more. Okay. So here's one I want to know. Um, can you see yourself having a business that makes 20K a month? Can you see yourself as the mom who gets to balance her business and still be there for her kids in every possible way? Can you see yourself surprising your family or your kids or your friends with, on Christmas morning because you're taking them on a trip, right? My dream is actually for my birthday in February to like pay for all of, okay, so I make a big deal out of my birthday, you guys. I just want you guys to already know that. And there's always a theme, and I've been doing this for like since I turned 26. So everybody knows that my birthday is a big deal. And I host these big crazy girls weekends. But this year I'd like to pay for it. This year I'd like everybody just to show up and not have to pay a dime to wherever we travel to. So that's my goal. That's my next goal. Um, let's see. Priya said, do you think this is possible without social media? I think word of mouth is a great way to do it. I mean, my social media is a little bit pathetic. I've got like 738 followers on Instagram. So, I think there's lots of different ways, to reach people. I think social media probably has the biggest reach if you have the right strategy. Because we don't spend a ton of time on social media. Um, there's different Instagram coaches for different things. And we actually have an Instagram coach who does a bonus session in boot camp to like show you what the latest is on like Instagram trends and all the things. That's not as much my specialty. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But there's so many ways to do it. Sarah, why does that scare me? I think you should probably journal on that one. Why does that scare you? Why does being successful scare you? And are you sabotaging yourself so that way you're not successful? Are you, just a question. I don't know you. Could be. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys because I like you. And yeah, could be Sarah, could be. All right. So I asked you guys $20,000 a month. I want you guys to like dream about 35 because Sherry said this 30, 35. I want you guys to dream about 42,000, 49,000. Does that freak you out? It's okay if it does. Sometimes like things that freak us out are like the best things. So let me share my screen with you guys and I'm going to show you guys how I grew my business. All right. I think I told you guys the background on me. Let's see. It does because how many hours? I don't know. I work like 20 hours a week, maybe. How many hours did I work today? Doesn't seem that real to make that much. So I made, just so you guys know, I made $49,000 in the month of May. So like just a couple months ago. And we had at about 45-ish for August. What was it? Like 44 and some change, right? So it could depend on your fee. It's going to depend on a lot of things, right? So let's talk about these questions at the end, because how we income jump and the levels that we jump also does depend on a little bit of what you are offering. Because the fees for my practice aren't that crazy. My personal fees are, but the fees for like my practice aren't that crazy. So, a little bit of background, right? Dental hygiene school. I'm like really, the biggest thing about me is I'm rarely satisfied. There's a drive and there's an energy within inside of me. And some of the stuff that I've had to journal through is what is enough. Okay, like what is enough for me? What does that look like? What feels like enough? Where do I find that satisfaction, right? I have a goal, that I want to complete it. Okay, what's my next goal? What's my next goal? What's my next goal? So one of the big things that I do want to like throw out there that I talk a lot about is your goals may not be the same as mine. And they absolutely do not have to be. You do not have to want to make the same amount of money that I make. You don't have to want to have the same goals that I do. I don't want you guys to be me. I want you to be yourself. And I want you to make goals and dreams based on you and your life and what you want and who you want to be and who you are. Right now, my vision for the future is to help in the next 25 years, like hundreds of thousands of moms grow their business and have the freedom that they want to be moms and business owners. That doesn't have to be your goal, right? That's like my big vision 25 years out. What does my life look like? Is that I've helped so many women like you reach the goals that you want to reach. So the first thing I'm going to say is don't compare yourself to me. I'm going to give you the blueprint. You make it your own. You jump in with us if you want help, but you don't have to have the same goals as me, right? Because we're all different. Our lives are different and our stories are different, right? The reason my story is the way my story is because I was in an abusive relationship that I had to leave. And if I didn't make the money that I make, I wouldn't be able to get my daughter and I out safely. Right. So that might not be the case for you. And I hope to God it's not the case for all of you. Right. But that's my story and that's what I went through. And that's why I want to do the things that I do. And that's why I want to help you guys. And that was the driving force of not just a mom. Right. There's plenty of room at the top for everybody. There's endless amounts of money. And I'm pretty sure they're like printing more every day. So, it's not money's just a energy of like an exchange of energy, which never made sense to me until now and until I started to understand this stuff, right? It's a way to get freedom. It's a way to do things bigger. It's a way to help yourself and your families. So it's not just about the dollar amount, right? And I find when I put a purpose behind the money that I make, more money comes to me easily, right? If there's a purpose behind the money that I'm trying to bring to the table or that I'm trying to make, it just flows in out of the most random crazy places. Like I literally just had a patient who was on a payment plan who emailed us like this afternoon. Was like, hey, can I actually pay off my payment plan sooner? I'm like, oh, always. That was surprise. I call that surprise money. I love surprise money. Right. And then there's the money that I work for too. Right. But it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard to make money. That's like capitalism. That's like the American way is like bootstraps and like if it's not hard, it's not right. I don't subscribe to that. I subscribed to that for a long time and it like gave me a lot of heartburn and sleepless nights and nausea. So I don't really subscribe to that now. And 9 times out of 10 when Sani and I start acting crazy. So just so you guys know, Sani's my operations manager. She's my number 2. I don't know what I do in my life without her. But sometimes when we start acting a little crazy, we have to like literally look at like say to each other like, okay, should we let this go and let this be easy? And then we do, and then we're like, we're crazy. And then the next day, like somebody pays or money comes in. So you don't have to white knuckle it to make money. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you do. And I think you guys all do. So anyways, that's the soapbox on that. That has nothing to do with this page. Right here. So sorry about that. But here's the thing. I loved being a dental hygienist at first. I decided I wanted more. I'm like, what can I do? What can I go find? Right. So for me, it was myofunctional therapy. There's a million service-based, like we've got occupational therapists in there, we've got interior designs in there. We've got other types of coaches in here. Not everybody in here is a myofunctional therapist because I help more than that. But obviously that's my specialty. So I can even speak deeper and further on that. So let's see, started my practice in 2016. Okay. Oh yeah, this is kind of where I was going, right? Things come to people who take action, right? I launched my practice in the fall of 2016. Raise your hand if you knew what myofunctional therapy was in the fall of 2016. Yeah, in the chat, how many people? Anybody? And what? Okay, Delana. Delana has actually been around a long time. All right, but like, cool. 2 out of the 20 of us, 22 of us that are in here, 2 of us heard about this thing, right? Like, so for anybody who's trying to tell me nobody in my area knows about this, it's way too hard. Nobody knows things. I don't, it's too hard for me to find people. Like, this is how I started. Okay. I done been there. I done been there. All right. So telling me people like it doesn't work in your area. The area I live in have a couple very loud voices in the field that a lot of people don't like. So I also have been in a place where no, we don't like this doctor and he's here in our town, so we're not going to refer to this. Like we don't know what this is. So any excuse you guys are going to give me, I've been through it and I'm going to tell you why that's not true. So you can save yourself the time now unless you really want me to like dive into it. So here's how I started. Okay. I did on this part, right? I started to find people slowly. Okay. I found orthodontists. I found anybody. I had a BioBlock dentist. If anybody knows what BioBlock is, I found a couple people who did tongue tie releases. But I started with one or two connections. I started talking to people in my dental hygiene chair, right? My mentor at the time needed some help, so I was an associate and I worked as an associate. I, started at a lower hourly rate to like just gain experience, gain skills quickly, get the hang of it, right? And then I continued to grow locally. I'm, going to offices every single week, treats in hand, right? Referral pads, setting up lunch and learns. I joined study clubs. I went to some affordable conferences because they're not all affordable. And I know that. But here's how I quickly grew, okay, from nothing to about 10K a month, right? I just kind of said this before, but right, things come to those, take action. If you are hiding behind your computer and you're telling me that nobody in your town knows what you're talking about when you haven't left your house in 5 weeks, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, I know what to say to you. It's get out of your house and go in front of people. Oh, well, I talked to this doctor 3 months ago. Okay, well, but have you followed back up? Have you called? Have you gone back by? Right? When you're in there the first time, did you set up the lunch and learn? No, lunch and learn scare me. Okay, so here's one of the things that we all need to get over in this moment. This might be somewhere else. I wrote this like 2 days ago. Actually, did I write this yesterday? 2 days ago? I don't know. I'm a mom. I forget things. But sales are not bad. Okay. My mentor says there's, this like makes me cringe every time, but he's right. There's sales and then there's like the boat sales, right? Like the sailing on a boat where we sail together, right? And we should be sailing together with our patients. Honestly, I think I kind of butchered that because like it makes me uncomfortable, but it's true, right? You're not just selling something to your patient or client or whatever you want to call them and you're walking away, right? You're giving them a service to make their lives easier, to improve their health. There's a purpose behind what you are selling, and selling is not bad. Selling is a byproduct of service. Okay. So being shy about sales, being shy about wanting to sell something to somebody, you've got to get over it. Got to get over it. People expect to buy something. Yeah, they might be cheap, right? We just have to make sure we position ourselves of what the investment truly is. But people they expect to buy when they're coming to see you, right? So that's tip number 1. Take the action, I guess parentheses, don't be afraid of sales. Tip number 2. This is my favorite. This is honestly, if you guys like don't hear anything else from me the rest of the night, this is why I'm so successful. Period. Close the gap between idea to implementation. If you have an idea of something that you want to do, go do it. Do you guys want to know when I came up with the idea for this workshop? Monday. Do you know when we're doing this workshop? Thursday. Do you know how many of you registered to be on here? Almost 50. Okay, so like there's people out there who want to know what you do and want help. And you just have to like open yourself up for them to find you. When did I come up with the idea for business boot camp? The last weekend of May. And then I started marketing it the middle of June, and then we started the first week of July. Right? And we have 13 amazing boot campers who are graduating, right? So close the gap. Close the gap. If you have an idea of something that you want to do not spend time making it perfect. I know somebody in here said they struggle with perfectionism, and I get it. I'm type A, get it. But what you consider perfection versus how much you could help people, like they outweigh each other. I'd rather be helped by somebody who's imperfect than by somebody who is perfect and rigid and we have to do things this specific way, otherwise it's never going to work. That's not true. There's a million, what's that disgusting phrase? There's like 1,000 ways to skin a cat. I mean, is there? I hope not. But like, but it's a saying for a reason, apparently. So you don't have to be perfect. I wasn't perfect in my first patients. It's okay to say you don't know. Somebody is going to appreciate you and want to work with you so much more when you're real and you say, hey, you know what? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to go find out. Right? People want you to be real. Who do you want to work with? You want to work with someone who's real. So why wouldn't someone else want to work with someone who's real? Right? Tip number 3, find a mentor. Finding a mentor in the beginning was great for me. Somebody who you could bounce things off of, right? Somebody who could kind of help guide you through some of the missteps. Someone who could give you some sort of advice, right? So find a mentor. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Okay. There are, I promise you. And if you guys tell me there's not, I will go look at a map and I will go find you 5 people to go talk to tomorrow if you guys want to challenge me on this. There's other people out there who think you have 3 heads too. Okay. You just need to find your 3-headed people, right? People who are like all into root causes and airway or whatever it is that you're into. I promise you, out of the 7 billion people in the world, that you're not the only one, right? Okay. And this is where everybody gets stuck. Tip number 5, keep up with the field you're in, but don't take too many courses and get education overwhelmed. You guys are like, how do you read my mind? Implement what you learn from your training before you take the next one, right? Supplemental education throughout is always important, but don't get stuck in the loop. Do the work. Don't hide behind your education. Don't hide behind courses. None of these courses have the magic bullet to make you do the work. What's going to make you do the work are attached to your legs and they help you walk out your door, right? That's what's going to make you do the work. And what's in here and what's in here, okay? Right? All right, so my practice grew pretty quickly when nobody knew what myofunctional therapy was, when my prices were lower. In about a year, I was trying to remember how long it took me because it's been a while. It's been like 7 years since I've done it. But when I did it again more recently in 2022, it took me 2 months to pop back up over 12. So, and part of that's consistency. Consistency is key. The more consistent you are, right? The worst time to get a referral is when you're desperate for one. Okay. The worst time to get a referral is when you're desperate. And so, yeah, Stephanie, your husband's right. I don't know him, but he seems like a cool dude. So you have to get out there, right? And then also you're planting seeds, like, and then you let it come, right? Again, we can't white knuckle our businesses. So what we made for you guys is, as we go through these steps, probably should have started with this, my bad. Out of these 5 steps, like, what's a step that you could take tomorrow? Because it's late at night. All right. It's 5:45 on Thursday night. For me, for some of you, it's later. Right. So out of these 5 steps, what could you do tomorrow? What could you do within the next week to move the needle forward on your business? And if you feel so inclined, because you guys know this is an interactive workshop, please put in the chat which tip stood out to you and which one that you are going to, that we're all going to hold you accountable, that you're going to do tomorrow or early next week. So I will some Fridays tomorrow. So what do you guys think in the chat? Sherry, all of them. Of course you are, because you're a star, right? Jessica, follow up with the orthodontist you reached out to in the past. Well, love. Reach out to 5 new offices, Veronica. Yes, love. Okay. I love it. I love it. Close. Betsy, my girl. I love it. Just got chills. That's my favorite tip. All right, Kim. Oh, Stephanie, putting yourself out there. Kim, reach out to 1 functional dentist in my area. Sarah, make a list of 5 offices to go to. Okay, I love it. All right, you guys ready to make the next jump? Well, bam. Okay, so 10,000 to 16,000 a month. All right. And then go next week. Yes, Sarah. Thank you for writing that part down. Right? Michelle reached out to 3 today. Yes, Michelle. I love this. Okay. Now here's my next step. When you guys go into these offices, are you scheduling lunch and learns or are you just dropping things off and running away? Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot messenger. Veronica run. She wears her running shoes. All right. Just checking. Just asking. I was just wondering. Okay. All right. Here's something that I actually ran into the other day. Run like fast. See you guys. It's not rocket science. It's not like it might be, but are you guys finding, are you guys picking up some stuff here? Right? Okay. Here's how I jumped from 10 to 16. Tip number 6. Tell people what you do. Make sure your message is clear. People can't refer to you. People can't find you if they don't know what the F you do. All right, I'm not gonna get too sweary, but yo, if somebody doesn't know what you do, then how are they supposed to refer to you? Mm, mm, mm. Be clear. Be who you are. Be proud. Be loud. Say it out there. All right. Oh, I guess here we are. I guess I could have sailed. What do I tell them I do, Sherry? Tell them I help change their patients' lives every day. Okay, so what I do is, so depending on who the office is, yeah, referral pads, great, right? Design that tonight. They don't have to be fancy or perfect. Name, email, date of birth, referring doctor, email, symptoms. Depending on the office, right? So, I'm sure they don't have to be perfect, trust me. Trust me. I tell people, so if I'm a myofunctional therapist, I tell people, so if I'm walking into orthodontist, they say, hey, what do you do for your patients who have open bites and tongue thrusts? Great. I do physical therapy that helps reverse the tongue thrusts. I'd love to be able to connect with you guys. When can we set up a lunch and learn? What's doctor buying for lunch? I'll bring cookies. Okay, see you next week, right? Whatever their big symptom is, right? Whatever it is that their symptom is. Tiffany, it's recorded and you're in boot camp, but yes. I've never talked slowly a day in my life. I'm like the off brand of the Gilmore Girls. So, but yeah, basically pick what it is that you do, what they do, maybe 3 things. So if it's something more general, right? What are their 3 pain points that you can help address? What are the 3 things that might be keeping people up at night? All right. How might you help? Right? That's why I bring cookies. I don't buy lunch. The part about being able to afford lunch for lunch and learns. Hey, how can we team up to get doctor to buy you guys lunch next week? I'll bring cookies. Great. And then the front office just puts on there, doc's buying lunch. Doesn't have to be a thing. Doesn't have to be a thing. Okay, I feel like we got that though, right? Tell people what you do, make your message clear, right? Don't be afraid to sell yourself. Selling is a byproduct of service. Guys, we talked about this. Sorry, I should have saved the sailboat for this, right? Jump in your sailboat, take people with you, okay? There's that, right? Price your services appropriately. Do not undervalue what you sell. It doesn't matter if you are new. When you undervalue your prices, you will attract the wrong people. People with money are out there in every city. Bye, Priya, love you. People will pay And before you tell me otherwise, don't forget that I have ran a worldwide telehealth company since 2016 with patients in at least 15 different countries. At least. If I wrote it down, might be more. And at least like 30 states. And they have paid $2,400 to $3,500. So do not tell me otherwise. Again, I will come with examples. So don't undersell yourself. Don't underprice yourself. A new doctor isn't cheaper than a doctor who's been around for 30 years. You still get charged an arm and a leg. Doesn't matter how long they've been around. Right? That's just like an old school way of doing it. Okay. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. We do full comprehensive therapy programs in our myofunctional therapy practice, Dana. I do full commitment, all up front. We have financing options and stuff, and we can talk more about that. But I've never done a pay per session in my life, and I've probably worked with over 1,000 people, if not more. I stopped counting like 5 years ago. So, tip number 9: make yourself an expert. Start a YouTube channel. Start a podcast with a friend. Go live on Instagram. Create a study club, right? If there's nobody in your area, if there's not like anywhere for you to go to a study club, make the study club yourself. Bring the people to you. Start a networking group. Position yourself as a leader in your community. Don't hide behind your computer unless you're making YouTube videos. Okay. Number 10, find your people. Reach out in Facebook groups, go to conferences, go to events in your field, join Meetup. I think Meetup's gotten cool in Portland. I don't know if it's cool other places. I've noticed I didn't write Craigslist. Don't meet people on Craigslist. Create a Meetup, join an entrepreneur group. All right, that's how we're gonna get from 10 to $16,000. All right. Tips 6 through 10 in the chat. What are one of these things that you could do tomorrow or early next week? Throw it in the chat. What can you do? Who you gonna call? Tell people what I do. I love it. I know it sounds so easy when it comes out of my mouth, doesn't it? It sounds so easy. It is easy. You guys are overthinking it. Reels on Insta. Yeah. Oh, Jessica said a teach and treat. I love this. A teach and treat. Don't call it a lunch and learn, a teach and treat. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Yep. Post what I do on my non-used business page. Yeah, do that. Post it on your personal page too. Who cares? Post all this kind of stuff on my personal page. Join the Chamber of Commerce. Love it. Yes, great. Gone to one of the meetings. It's a lot of business owners. Chambers of Commerce are great. Rotary Club is another one. Rotary Club. Michelle, making sure everybody knows what you do. Apply to speak at a teachers convention here in February. Yes, Barb. Yes, Barb. That gave me chills. You guys are giving me all sorts of chills. Okay. I don't think it's that cold. I think down here, I think you guys are actually giving me real chills. Okay. Let's bump it. All right. Who's ready for the next? Are you guys ready? Are you guys enjoying this, first of all? Is this helpful? Am I like telling you guys new things? Okay. Sherry says yes. My hype girl, Sherry. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Good. Very helpful. Good. I mean, if you hate it, nobody's making you stay on here, but we love having you anyways. Okay. So 16,000, 24,000 a month. All right. The next gap. Here's a little story. Here's a little story for you guys. All right. Once people knew who I was, right? Was getting consistent referrals along with income. This is where I knew I wanted to scale more. Okay. This is where I knew I wanted to make myself and my business bigger. Again, you don't have to want to make more than $16,000 a month. I'm not going to stop you. I think that's amazing. I love that. Go do it. Take these tips, run with it. I mean, honestly, you can do these things too. This is all still really great, right? So I wanted to scale. There's only so much time in my day, right? So I hired an associate. I have 3 associates now, right? I hired an associate of my own to be able to see more people, earn more income, grow other people in the field, help other people grow their knowledge, right? Like I don't have to be the only myofunctional therapist on the planet. I can't see 7 billion people and I don't want to. Even if only half have OMDs, I don't want to. 3.5 billion people does not excite me. Okay. So there's plenty of room for everybody in case anybody was curious about that. So I hired an associate, I built them up, I trained them, I mentor them, I help them. They're amazing. They help see my patients. They see more of my patients than I do these days. And they're amazing and I love them. Right. So that's one way you could continue to grow your business and make more money without working 24/7. Okay. I priced our programs in a tiered pricing structure based on our experience. That's how I differentiated us at first. Okay. Which worked for about 6 months. And I saw my practice grow to $16,000 months and up to $20,000 on a good month. However, I couldn't break $20,000 consistently. How did I make the leap? Right. So this is actually where I ended up hiring my business coach. So the guy who says sale instead of sales, like God bless him. But it's true. But it's true. I pay my associates hourly. I pay them hourly. I pay them per session. I pay them like $10 more an hour, if not a little bit more than what the hygiene wage is in our area. So that's what I pay them. So let's see, tip number 11. So 11 through 14, this is kind of where it gets a little wonky. Sorry, everybody. I tried to do 5 per, but it wasn't like totally perfect. So because we don't always have to do things perfectly, here you go. 11 to 14, not 11 to 15. Okay. I worked with a business coach. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I didn't do this on my own. You want to get somewhere quickly, work with somebody who already knows all the shortcuts. Invest your money in someone who wants you to win as much as you do. Like I literally like have never felt so supported than the business coach that I work with right now. Like so supported. I didn't feel like I was being hidden. I don't feel like I was doing work to try and like build up my reputation for it to never actually be paid for or anything else, right? An actual cheerleader and someone who has the shortcuts, who helped me get there, who changed things up for me, who's helped me see my blind spots, who helped encourage me to put myself out there in different ways and do different things, right? The accountability. Hey, you said you're going to do this. Did you do it? Hey, have you ever thought about doing things this way? Hey, you're charging too little, right? Investing your money in someone who wants you to win, game changer, life changer, period. Okay. So I was at like $16,000 a month, maybe up to 20 in January. I hired him in January. And in March, I made 33,100 and something dollars. 90 days. 90 days. We made a couple of changes. I closed the gap. I said I was going to do something and I did it, right? So it brings me down to tip number 12, which is don't use a tiered pricing structure. And we do a little bit, okay? At least one with too many options. So I had like 3 different options and patients were confused and they had too many things and they were like, oh, well, we just don't know, right? My message wasn't clear. So I gave them option A, option B, make it clear. Even if there's only one of you, you can have an option A and an option B. Option A, you work with me for a year. We do a full in health reset. We, we work on like extra things, right? Bonuses, value stack it, right? You know, we could brainstorm what that is for your business. And then, or option B is that usually option A is kind of like a whoa mama offer where it's like, holy cow, that's wild. That includes so much. That's huge. Wow, that's a lot of money. Option B, oh, okay, it's a little bit less, but it's this price. Oh, great, we'll do that, right? And then it's like 6 to 8 months compared to like a year or whatever. I'm spitballing a little bit, because it would be specific to your industry and what you do. But tip number 13. How many of you in here just said to me, oh, I'm gonna go back and talk to this person or that person who I talked to a couple months ago? Right? Staying consistent with your referral reach outs learning how to nurture your referral relationships and maintain them. And then the biggest thing, I believe it was Sarah in here who said, why does this scare me? Right? Believe that you're capable and worth making the amount of money you want to make. Again, it doesn't matter if you want to make $83,333.33 a month, or if you want to make $5,000 a month, if you want to make $10,000 a month, if you want to make $12,000 a month. It doesn't matter what the number is. Okay. We have to believe that you're capable and worth making that amount of money that you actually want to make. The mindset shifts that I had to do in the first 5 months of this year were huge, and they changed my life. Right? And that's those mindset shifts. Okay, that isn't there. Great. Okay. Those mindset shifts really helped me take this $33,000 months and turn them into $40+ thousand months. Okay, so tips 11 through 14. Any of those speak to you guys? Any of those feel good to you? I'll let you guys type in here. Is this getting anybody excited, or are we all just freaked out? Veronica says staying consistent referral reach outs. Yeah, 100%. Sarah is both equally excited and freaked out. Great. That's exactly where I want to live. That's where I want to live in your guys' lives, is excitedly freaked out. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. We'll live there. I'm cool with that. Tiffany's kind of freaked out. All right. Sherry, Sherry, we should talk about that actually. Put that on our next call. Option A for whole health and option B, Mayo or something. Tiffany says, but I need the mindset, mind shift sets for sure. Tiffany, I cannot wait for you to be in week 4 and week 5 of boot camp. That's where it gets really wild. Yeah. Okay. All right. So how did I get from those $24,000 months up to 33, even deeper? Okay. Some of this is a little woo-woo, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. And sometimes it does have to be a little woo-woo. You have to get out of your own head. Right. So tip number 15, this is what I did in May. This was my biggest month ever. Take a risk or an investment into a mastermind session with your business coach. That's what I did. I went to Toronto. Whether it's one-on-one or even at a retreat, go to a business retreat. Go when you're in the energy of somebody who's doing this, energy of somebody who you like, somebody who you admire, somebody who you want to be like, somebody who you want your business to grow like, somebody when you're just kind of in their energy and the energy of people who are really crushing it, you can feel it and you can really believe it and get in the mind of it and just get in it, right? So get in person with these people, right? Get into their energy so you can feed off of it and absorb it. So whether it's one-on-one, something like a retreat, those are both available to you, by the way. We can talk about that at the end as well if you guys want, but number 16 is where it gets a little woo-woo, all right? Deep diving into the inner work that you need to move through to get those limiting beliefs out of your head, of why you can't make money in your business, why you can't be successful, why you can't do things, and move past them, right? There are so many people out there who make crazy amounts of money who aren't grinding constantly, right? And that's kind of what I told my coach back in February or March or whatever it is. It was I know there's something to this mindset thing that I'm missing, or this manifestation thing that I'm missing. Because people are out here saying they're manifesting stuff and they're doing crazy things. And I'm but what does that mean? Right? Type A science degrees, what does that mean? And so I did a deeper dive right into the inner work, into the mindset. I started journaling every day. Tip number 17. What do I want? Is there anything inside of me that says I can't have it? Why am I not worth it? Right? Why am I not worth being able to hold on to money? Why am I not worth being able to break this income level? Why am I not worth being able to do things on my own? Right? Prove it's a lie because other people are doing it. So if you're writing these things and you're well, I can't do this because of this, this, or this, be okay, well, Megan does this. Megan, there's nothing special about Megan. Megan wasn't born into nepotism. All right. Megan wasn't born into money. Megan wasn't born knowing how to do any of this. Right. So if I can do it, you can do it. I'm only that special to Isabel and to my mom. Okay. Nobody else. So it's not that I have like this special thing, right? Or that I was born into opportunity. I mean, a little bit being in America in like the safest town in the US and like, those things speaking, but not like fame or money or anything like that. My family always kind of scraped by, right? Um, and it freaks them out that I talk about money, and it freaks them out that I make and then they don't pay their phone bills, and then I get mad enough. But again, different story. Anybody else have three sisters? You get it. Okay, tip number 18. This is where things really get bigger, right? So if you want to take it to the next level and there is only one of you, you diversify. What are other ways you can help people and bring value to your business? Can you do a new offer? Can you teach a course? Can you host a workshop? Can you host a paid workshop? Can you host one of our girls, Kelsey, hosts a booster bunch? Like, can you teach people about what you do so they can do it too? Right? Like, can you consult? Can you, there's a million things, right? Like, figure out how to monetize a podcast or a YouTube channel, right? Diversify, right? Multiple income streams coming in, that all adds up to something, right? All right, tip number 19, know how you're going to present your new offers. Okay, you can't be all over the place. You have to be clear. Your message has to be clear. An entry level offer, like we talked about, right? Like option A, and then a mid level option, option B. And then high end, right? That year long, something crazy, something big, have a funnel that people can move through. Like, hey, you can come to our 6-week workshop on how to breathe better, right? And then you can come into our like 6-month long therapy program. And then if you really want to ramp it up, we've got a whole year where we completely change your health, whatever that is, right? Again, we can brainstorm it through your businesses because everybody's different. And then have a marketing plan and strategy. Know how you're going to show up on social media every day. So if you are on social media, if you want to be on social media, if you want to be doing these every week, right? If you want to have a purpose behind what you're posting. What is the reason why you're posting? Is it just to post to get attention? What are you calling in, right? Is there a call to action? What are you doing? So, wasn't going to, do you guys want the bonus? Okay, wait, there's a couple questions in here. Ask your questions and then we'll talk about the bonus that's in here. Okay, let's see. Whoa. All right. Oh, Dana, thank you for saying this. I love you for saying this. I have a fear of charging a lot of money and not curing that patient's problem. What makes you think you can't help your patients? What makes you, have you ever told your patient that you're offering a silver bullet? I charge $4,500 to see me and people pay it. And I sleep like a baby at night when Isabel sleeps like a baby at night. Right? The fear of charging a lot of money and not curing that patient's problem. That's a great limiting belief and a great place to be because and I know that I would never expect one person to solve all of my problems, right? But you also know you have the skills to help people so deeply change their health and change their lives. If I would have never gotten my tongue tie released, would I still be having daily headaches, clenching my teeth, having acid reflux every single day, right? Like, yes, do I need expansion? Yeah. Okay, fine. But your job is not to cure people. Your job is to, I guess goes back to our like sale, right? Your job is to help people through their problems, right? You're more like, honestly, I spend half the time being a mental health therapist as I do a myofunctional therapist, right? You're listening to people's problems. You're helping them figure things out. You're letting them know these are the things that I can help you with. And we're going to get you as far as we can go. And if we need more help, then we're going to ask for more help. If we need more help, we're going to pull in the TMJ doctor. If we need more help, we're going to get you a sleep test. If we need more help, we're going to get, this done. But I'm going to give you everything I got to help you get better. And we're going to go on this journey together. And if somebody said that to you, would you have a hard time saying no to that? What do you guys think? Does that feel easier? God, I'm good at the pause, aren't I? Number one tip of boot camp is the pause. Rebecca, I'm glad that you knew that the pause was coming. Because I'm going to teach you the power of the pause in week 1. Week 2. Week 2. Okay. Michelle, thank you. So beautiful. Every client sees benefits at the end. Go over the consultation questions, their answers. They're always surprised at the progress they have, symptoms they didn't even remember. Oh yeah, that happens to me all the times. Like, remember when you were doing this? Like, oh my God, I forgot that was like the worst thing. And I forgot I was even doing that. Right? I do that about 6 sessions in, progress report, and at the end, right? Sarah, so what you're saying is I have to also believe in yourself. Yes, you have to believe in yourself. I'm about to throw my computer across this room. Oh, you guys like that I'm good at the pause, huh? I fill every space with words. You can fill the spaces with words. Yeah, under promise and over deliver. Do it all the time. I do it all the time. All right, my friends. So here's the thing before I come back to my tips of how I got it even further. Are you guys in on this? Are we like loving this? Are we happy? Okay. So here's where we're at, my friends. You have a couple different options. You can take this information that I have given you, right? You can like journal tonight. You can, oh, Rebecca, I'm so happy you're feeling validated. I'm excited. Okay. Right. So you can take this information. Maybe you're super pumped in this moment. I gave you that dopamine rush. You're like, yes, I love journals. I love it. Right. And you're going to write all these things down. And then like tomorrow, you're going to wake up really scared and you're not going to actually do anything. Right. It's okay. You are loved. We love you. It is okay. It's fine. Right. Option number 2, right? You do it yourself. You keep kind of fumbling through. You keep trying to work through it on your own. You keep trying to do all these things. Okay. And eventually you're going to get there. Right. There's going to be some ups and downs. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to maybe invest in, some courses and again, dopamine rush. But eventually you will get there. Right. You're going to get there. It's going to happen. Right. And then, option 3 is get yourself a time machine and go back in time and do it all again. So, don't we wish we all had a time machine sometimes? I do. I definitely would have changed some things, obviously. Obviously. But for those of you who want some help, want some accelerated help, then I do have something that I want to show you guys. So if you're like, thank you for the information, this is great. I'm going to see you on Facebook. I'm going to join your Not Just a Mom Facebook group. I'm going to add you as a friend. I'm going to follow your stuff. Great. Totally fine. If you're somebody who wants to close the gap between idea and information, right? If you want to be like, okay, I'm tired. I want to take action. Stay on. Let's talk more. All right. So here's what we got. We have to have a couple different things. And if you guys let me talk about all of them, I will. But we're going to start off with the most immediate action item. Business boot camp starts Monday. Okay. Business boot camp is split up into 3 different areas. We've got the foundation, okay, which means that we're going to get your referral systems going. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to show you how to close that referral loop. Okay, week 2 is all about closing the sale and making sure that you are not over-educating, but you are actually selling treatment and you're closing that treatment. Week number 3, handling objections. Okay, so when somebody says it's too much money, now it's not the right time, I've talked to my partner, let me think about it. Do you know how to actually address those 4 different things and how to still get people to sign up on the call? All right, and then we're going to jump into week number 4. This is where we get into mindset stuff, and this is where everybody thinks they don't need help, and then they tell me that that was the most helpful part. And that's where we're getting into, again, sales mindsets. Okay, really working on your sales mindset and not being afraid to sell things. This is the anti-car salesman week. All right, how many of you feel like car salesmen, and that's why you have such a hard time selling treatment? Right? Not car salesman. I'm going to show you how. We're going to work through limiting beliefs and why we don't believe that we should be able to make the amount of money that we want to make and that it's hard to make a lot of money. And then we're going to talk about money and those money beliefs, the limiting beliefs, and even more so about money and really moving past any sort of money blocks that we have. Okay. And then weeks 7 and 8, we're talking about automating, growing, delegating, who you can bring on to help with some of these administrative tasks if you need to. We talk about marketing and what a marketing plan looks like. And then you get 2 bonus calls. We got an Instagram business coach who comes in and talks about Instagram business. And then we are going to Sani, my number 2. What up? She does a Canva training course because she does Canva beautifully. And actually, a lot of people really struggle with Canva. And so we show you guys how to use it and use it more easily and better, I guess. So let's talk about the 3 problems we talked about earlier. Time freedom, right? Wanting to be able to spend more time with your kids and not have to spend so much time in the business, right? Being able to get yourselves out there and actually the time that you spend making referral relationships and actually getting those referrals to come in, right? And then, I mean, you guys said lots of frustrations and they were all so beautiful, right? They were all so good. So, right? Getting all of them, right? Feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you're tired of having to prove yourself just to get more referrals, right? So here's kind of 3 ways that we want to deliver to you, right? We're going to help you reach those financial goals, whether you're at 10, you want to make 10,000, 12,000, 15,000, 24,000, right? We're going to give you that time freedom that you want. We're going to help you close your sales at 90%, right? This is what, yeah, Rebecca said, that's it. I'm not afraid to succeed. I'm afraid of it taking over my life when you do. It hasn't taken over my life yet, just so you know. So, right, here's the first 3 things that we're going to work on, right? Here's the first 3 things that you can do, okay? Join a Facebook group. We're going to send you a free training, okay? And then we're going to get you guys scheduled for your first boot camp call, right? So for those who do want the accelerated help, right? We're meeting every Monday night starting at 5:15 Pacific time. It's 8 weeks long. Then you get the 2 extra calls within boot camp. Within the first 2 weeks, you get a 30-minute coaching call with me where we can goal set, figure out what you need in your business. And then we've got one at the end to help you create a plan moving forward. Price for boot camp this round is $997. I'm going to drop the link in right now. So that way anybody who is ready to go on this call can click that link, get signed up. It starts Monday, so you guys really can't like wait much longer. Anybody who's been dragging your feet, I'd recommend that you pick them up. I know. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. And then, you guys, what else? What else do you know from me? I'm going to share my screen here with you in a second, but Mhm. We've got the bonuses. Oh, yes, that's what it is. Okay. So I was multitasking for a second. All right. So if you are a member of Bootcamp, I mentioned this briefly earlier. I'm hosting a business mastermind retreat in the Dominican Republic. It's 2.5 days and it's a full on business mastermind. Okay. The retreat ticket is $19.97. Flight and lodging is not included. If you are a business boot camper, you get a half price retreat ticket at $1,000. All right. And then anybody who decides that they want to, sign up on this call, we'll throw in an extra coaching call with you. Okay, an extra 30-minute call. All right. And then I'm going to share my screen with you while I am dropping the link in here, and we're going to talk about how to make $42,000+ a week. All right. Let's see if this is being slow-mo. Do you guys have any questions? Throw your questions in here. Throw your questions in here while my computer is deciding to be slow. Anybody? Perfect. Does anybody want to join Business Bootcamp who hasn't already? I know some of you guys are already in, and we're so excited to have you. We're so excited to have you. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's a crazy link, but we're going to throw it in there and see if that works. You hired an associate, you pay per hour for just the session. I mean, we can take days to write a report. It better not take you days to write the notes from your 30-minute Myo session. It's 30 to 45 minutes for a session, and then there should take you 15 minutes or less to write your notes. Jessica, looking forward to seeing you on Monday too. Okay, Sherry, you too. Delana's in boot camp. Tiffany's in boot camp. Oh, initial report, I do that. I do all the initial reports, and that also takes me 5 minutes. So I'll show you how to do that. Oh, who else is in here? Okay. All right. That's the checkout link. You guys use that. Use that. They're 1099s. Oh yeah, Rebecca, it's easy. Barb, once I navigate regulations in Alberta, I'll be interested. Message me because I'm actually very curious about these Alberta regulations that are the business end can't work in your world. Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm really curious about why it's different in Alberta. Yeah, message me. Okay. All right, well, the rest of you guys are clicking the link. I'm going to show you this so we don't have to awkwardly all sit here together and wait for people to like sign up. Okay. So it's loading. There it is. All right. How did I make the biggest jump? Okay. Don't make your offers evergreen. All right. Put a date on when the offer ends and stay firm. You can always launch again later. Your treatment quotes are 30 days, period. Hey, this quote can change in 30 days. Don't give people forever to drag their feet on things. All right. Create an offer in your business that brings in monthly recurring revenue, right? You could have some sort of membership, or you're like breathing club or, whatever, like accountability group, exercise night, something that like, that everybody can be a part of, right? Create free trainings that give value so people want to buy from you, right? You guys are here tonight. I just gave you, I hope, a ton of value. And you guys are jumping into Business Bootcamp. I'm literally showing you guys this in real time, right? Host an event, host a retreat that brings people together, teach them how you got to where you are, every single detail, all the hows, not just the whats. I hope you guys are literally catching on to what's happening here, right? And really, Be generous. Okay. So I think this is the biggest thing. I think this has been a little bit of what has kept me from kind of getting to that next income hump, which is why I want to put this on here, because I think this is for me just as much as it is for you guys. Be generous, but also be protective of your time and energy. Give freely, ask privately. But if someone isn't going to invest in the time that you give them, it's okay to not let them take advantage of your time. Those patients who constantly want more and more and more, um, people who constantly want free advice, but they don't actually want to pay, it's okay to say no. It's okay to stop people where they're at. It's okay to not constantly give for free. So that is where we're at, you guys. So any final questions? Let's see, we've got people jumping in. The September boot camp is going to be the last one for the year because I'm also hosting the retreat. If boot camp doesn't work for you, come to the retreat. Come to the retreat in November. I'm going to take December and I'm just going to enjoy the crap out of Isabel and, you know, so December we're chilling. January we'll probably likely open it again. But I mean, I guess the question for you would be, do you want to wait for, what is that, 4 more months to still have the same problem? Right? Or is this something that you guys want to tackle today? And now, do we want to keep waiting for things to happen, right? So, I mean, if boot camp doesn't work for you because of whatever reason for this round, like come to the retreat in November. We're gonna have a great time. It's a business mastermind. We're gonna talk about a lot of the same things, but we're gonna deeper dive. And we've got some other options too to work with us one-on-one. So if you feel like that's you, feel free to message me. Oh, you guys, that was the other thing I was gonna throw in here. You guys are all welcome to a free 15-minute phone call with me if you haven't had one before. You are welcome to do a little one-on-one sesh, a little strategy session with me so I can give you some tips to see how we can get you there faster. So set up a meeting with me. Set it up. Come hang. All right. Any questions? Oh, Kristen just joined boot camp. Yay. Okay. Any questions for me? We've got a good group. Geez Louise, you guys are amazing. And for those of you still on the call, because there's still 16, 17 of you. And if you want to still chat, I'm still here because my mom still has Isabel. What's stopping you guys from joining one of these things? Some of you are already in boot camp, so you guys don't have to answer. But for those of you who aren't but are still here hanging out with us, what's stopping you? What's making you afraid? Jessica, Sherry's in. Jessica's in. Rebecca's in. I know Katrina's going to get in here. All right, Delana's in. Okay, Veronica, why do you feel like you can't devote the time? An hour a week, girl. An hour a week, change your life. Yeah, Barb, you got some Canadian biodrama and I need to hear this, so please message me. What about anybody else? Oh, Kelsey's in boot camp. Kelsey, do you want to talk about your time in boot camp? Kelsey's a current boot camper. Kelsey, would you like to awkwardly come on? Yes, Jessica, I'll see you on Monday. Kelsey, do you want to be put on the spot? If you're doing bedtime, type a 1. This is what we do with Kelsey. If you're in bedtime, type a 1. All right, Sherry, I'll see you Monday. Perfect. I'll start an infant feeding course for IBCLC. Yeah, we've got a couple IBCLCs in boot camp right now, actually. Oh yeah, Kelsey, duh, you're here. My girl Kels, money was mine. She gave me a payment plan. Oh, Tiffany, you are still in here. So I didn't scroll down far enough. Yeah, Tiffany's in boot camp. You guys are showing up. I love this. Yeah, Tiffany, we're gonna get you that money back real quick. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Yeah. Anybody else? I'm here if you guys have questions. If you guys don't, feel free to log off. That's it. That's the end. So feel free. If you guys have questions, I'm happy to stay on and answer them. We've got a little bit of time to hang out. I'll stay on for like 15 more minutes if you guys have questions. If you want to, Kim, you're so welcome. Absolutely. Happy to be here. Happy to host. Veronica, I love your process and have FOMO. Girl, just do it. Just do it. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? You're welcome, Stephanie. I'll stop the recording. That way